Well, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Mayhem's Amigos. My son and I are on our way back from the coast. We are making our way through San Antonio. It was a, it was, it was a fun day today. We had a good time. It was well worth it. I had a blast. So, while we're waiting on Chris, and we're going to get into some of the funnier stuff tonight, I'm sure. And oh crap! Bear with me a minute, everybody, because I know I missed a couple people who really do love the show, and I haven't sent them their link for it yet because I'm a dummy. Let me see here. I need. I'll go here. Well, I'll tell you, it is a little bit wild, just how crazy things have been here this last week. It's been nuts, and now I got that taken care of. I mean, it's been nuts. It's been wild the last couple of weeks, and we've been trying to get through it, struggling through, but the fact is, I had a friend of mine that asked me the other day, and I was going to kind of dive into this a little bit. They said, "Hey, man, how do you make a relationship work over long distance?" I goes, "Because they rarely do." And I said, I'm not an expert, and I don't claim to be an expert. I said, and the only thing I can tell you is what I do honestly do is I try. But they said, well, how would you make a relationship actually function over long distance? How would you do it? Because, and the reason he asked, because there's a girl I'm interested in that's, up in Illinois, and I'm down here in Texas, and how would I make it work? I said, this is a good subject for the show. This is a good subject to get everybody involved in and see what they've got to say about it. Because that's a tricky one with the modern day and the modern age and how everything works. It's amazing that there's so much more to make it easier, and yet the physical seems to be on most people's minds. That's like they gotta have it, and I don't understand. I will be honest with everybody here, and I mean straight out, I'm one of those rare few that you will meet that do I like the physical? Oh yeah, I'm not going to deny it. Yes, I do. It's a lot of fun, but is it what's important? No, it's not. It's the farthest thing from my mind when I'm trying to start out. I want to know that I've got an emotional connection. I want to know that I've got a mental connection at the same level. I want to know that there's some sort of a spiritual connection there. I want to know that all of that is in place, and that's somebody that could be there and not only be that significant other, but that's somebody that could be my absolute best friend. That's the one person I could pick up the phone, and no matter what, she's going to listen, and she's going to hear what I got to say, and she's going to let me explode it by any foul mouth means necessary to get it out of my system. And then she's going to say, now that you feel it better and you're done sounding like a spoiled little 2-year-old, why don't you knuckle down and get back at it? And be honest with me about that, And that's key. I mean, you've got to have that significant other. That has got to be your best friend. That has got to be that one person that no matter what happens, you can unload, and then they know that they can do the same with you, and they can unload. They can unload all of it, and then go, I'm going to bed, and they go to sleep. No, and I don't mean like go to bed and no, go to sleep.
I don't do that sometimes.
But that's the thing. That's first. Communication is first. That's and that's like that's the big start. After that, it's pretty much downhill from there. It's pretty easy to figure out from there. Now, what do you want to do from there? The physical will happen when it happens. I mean, if it happens. And if it don't, Jergens is cheap. Or you can use the Marvin move and get the baby oil. I mean, whatever, but it's cheap. That's how it all works. That's the. I swear, people. I cannot believe how many people go and they just immediately go and they jump right into the physical and they don't even worry about anything else. They're like, and then they say, "Oh, that's the basis of the relationship," and those relationships never work. They never work. You have to have that emotional connection. And
Something that I know. All you have to do is connect with each other on what you like. If you don't connect, it might not be okay, and it might be okay.
well, you got to have more than just that connection, bud. And that's my son sitting here jumping in and going, "Hey, look, no, you got to be able to connect here." And it's like, look, there's so much is involved. And long distance, all that really does is that teaches people over the long distance, that teaches you to have that connection without having to get the physical going. What's happening, Adam? So when I was asked that, I was really shocked when I was asked, how do you make that relationship work over a long distance? And I said, it's basically the same thing. The only difference is, like one of my honest weaknesses, and I'll tell anybody this, is if I am with somebody and she says, "I have this problem," I always want to be the one that jumps in to take care of it. And I just jump in and I do it and I take care of it and then the problem's solved and I think, okay, that's it. That's done. That's not the right way for me to handle stuff. And that has always been one of my failings, is I want to jump in and just get it done so there's no problem. And look at that, we got a Chris.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
Oh, I understand, man. I'm trying to drive and run this show at the same time. So you can imagine how much fun this is. I started off tonight talking about something that was asked to me. Because, there's a girl that's up in Illinois that I'm really interested in, and I would like to see that happen. And I got asked, "Hey, TJ, how did... Yo.
I'm sorry. I'm checking my microphone and shit, but you won't shut up for a second.
Well, we're live on this side.
Yeah, I know. Okay, there we're getting somewhere. My cat was sitting on the soundboard, which ain't cool.
Man, if Riley wasn't in the car and we weren't on the way back from the coast right now, I would have a comment.
What coast?
We were down on the Gulf Coast today.
Oh, go ahead with your comment. Don't be scared.
My comment, I've got an 11-year-old kid in my passenger seat.
And his dad is a truck driver.
Yeah, Dad is a truck driver, but Dad tries to watch it around child.
Oh.
Or chillins.
Hell, I'm already looking for a fuck you onesie for the grandkids.
Yeah, that don't surprise me. But no, man, like I said, I was asked earlier this week at work, you got this girl that you're interested in. What's happening, man? And I said, yeah, I really am. I'm really interested. I'd like to see something go forward. And he says, how do you make that work over 1,100 miles? How do you make a relationship work that far apart? And I was like, dude, let's start off with number one. You got to have good communication, and then you've got to build that into a good friendship, and then you got to become the best of friends. Like, that's got to happen because you got to trust each other.
There we go.
And that trust is even more vital. It's even more vital over that long 1,100-mile difference. You know what I'm saying?
Check.
And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. That's like number one. The communication and the trust. Now you got to respect each other. You got to respect each other. You got to be willing to, when you are together, you got to be willing to step outside your comfort zone and try something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all right. Like, dude, I've never been kayaking a day in my life and never even thought I wanted to try it. But I'm going to try it with this individual. You know what I mean? With this girl.
You're telling me
because it's something she loves to do. I've never been kayaking once in my life.
That's just. All right.
Yeah, so, hey, Midnight Zep says, what up, Chronic Chris? Hope y'all are having a good day.
Oh, fuck yeah, we're having a great day, dude. I'll tell you what, I got up this morning, and I was at Rural King this morning, 7 o'clock, right when they opened, looking at shotguns and toolboxes.
Hell yeah!
I didn't get it. I got a tool cart. And I'm like, it was $299, and I'm like, extra 10% off if I fucking rolled the floor model on outright. And the guy's like, yeah, if you need help loading it up, just let me know. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't need help.
Hell yeah!
I'm putting it in my fucking car. So, and I actually, right now, I drive a 1998 Chevy Lumina.
Hey, that's a good car.
After taking the handle and the side storage rack off this tool cart, I managed to somehow squeeze it in the back seat.
You know why?
But I pulled it out.
Because it's Chevy.
Right? Well, I pulled it out of the fucking Tractor Supply or World King or wherever the fuck I was. And I'm trying to squeeze it in the back seat, but I'm like, the handle's in the way. So I pop the trunk open, there's a wrench or something back there. All my fucking tools are back in work. So I leave the thing. I leave the thing just sitting in the parking lot, run back in, grab a fucking cheap crescent wrench set, run back out, take the handle and the side thing off, and somehow manage to make it fit. Made it fit the car, and off we went.
Dude, that works. Hey, now, Adam's already in the chat room giving me shit. You've never been kayaking? No, I've never been kayaking.
How?
I've been in a canoe.
I was half tempted to buy a kayak and strap it to the roof of my car and fucking take it over to the Green River. Get a Bluetooth speaker and blast out some CCR Green River while floating down the Green River. Why
not? I mean, that'd be kind of cool. But I'm telling you, I have never been kayaking. Never,
Hold
not
on,
once.
I'll be right back. As soon as I get this cat, I gotta go get my smokes real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. One of the other things I want to get into tonight, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm trying to figure something out here. How can an entire country get pissed off at one song? And by a country artist, nonetheless. And by a country artist that's not that good, nonetheless. Jason Aldean. Out of the mouths of babes, you guys hear it. I say Jason Aldean, my son looks up and goes, who is that?
Yes, hold on. Let me put my headphones on because this is exactly what we need to be talking about.
You know what? I was waiting on you because I wanted you on this. How does a whole country get pissed off and a bad country artist for a crappy song.
Hey, fuck you. Jason Aldean is a decent country artist, and it's a very good song, and there is nothing fucking wrong with it.
Okay, I haven't listened to the song yet. We're going to start there.
He's basically saying all your looting and rioting and all that fucking bullshit in your major cities. He's saying try that in a small town. And you know what? I'm 100% in agreement with him, and so is the county I live in here in Kentucky. When they had all them riots going on in Louisville last year, our sheriff right here in fucking Muhlenberg County, Kentucky said, don't bring that shit to my county. My citizens
don't come down this way. Right.
Yeah, my citizens are ordered. We are a Second Amendment county, and my citizens are ordered. If you see that shit going on, just fucking shoot them.
Look, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I live in Central Texas. Where I was going with it was, if you're going to get offended by Jason Aldean, who is a little mild-mannered kid, let me introduce you to a few others. How about Chris Christopherson? David Allen Coe, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, some of my favorites. Merle Haggard.
Ain't none of them got shit on David Allen Coe.
Man, I'll tell you what. Sit down and listen to David Allen Coe for a while.
Or Johnny Rebel.
Yes. Yes. Johnny Rebel's another good one. I mean, seriously, you're going to get mad at Jason Aldean?
For
really?
Telling it how it is?
I mean, look, all he's saying is small town USA does not put up with what happens in the big cities.
Well, also,
that's what I'm gathering from this.
I seen a post about, that being the #1 song, something being the #1 movie, and Disney has lost millions on their last 8 big projects. Disney's doing nothing but losing money. And the post went on to say, the silent majority is starting to speak up. Now, don't get me wrong.
Man, that is awesome, dude.
I love Disney, and I'm probably going to get sued by Disney for saying this anyways, but I love Disney, but they definitely are not what they appear to be. What the illusion or the magic.
I got to say something here. Look at this. Midnight says his wife had surgery on July 18th. 7 a.m. was done at 12:30 p.m. She is now cancer-free and will not need chemo. That is some great news, man. That is awesome. I'm happy for you and your wife.
Fuck yeah.
That is fantastic, man. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer.
Cancer killed one of my favorite YouTubers.
What'd he say?
He said cancer killed one of his favorite YouTubers. I'm like, man, dude, I'm
sucks,
so happy.
Dude.
Yeah, cancer killed our dog, too.
That sucks.
Hey, my sister-in-law, man.
Well,
my sister-in-law right now.
Yeah,
my sister-in-law right now. My sister-in-law right now is fighting breast cancer.
That sucks. My dad's going through throat cancer. He's got a voice box.
Right.
I can talk to him, but I can't understand what he's saying. And then our friend Kevin Titties. He's battling.
Don't look at me like that. I don't need your disapproving look.
It's all from his colon spread through his pancreas into his kidneys. Like he's all ate up with cancer, but he's a fucking fighter, man.
Yeah, I mean dude, I'm telling you, that's why I love to Save the Titties ride every year. I mean, Bikers for Tatas.
Hell yeah. Save second base.
Yeah,
if you're a Cubs fan.
That. Yes, I am a Cubs fan. I don't know how they did today.
The Save second base in October.
Right.
I think there's actually a few stadiums that actually make second base pink.
That is awesome. Hey, all right, Cubs won.
Woo!
Yeah.
We're still in July. Tell me it was interleague and they beat the Sox.
You know what that's a good question. I haven't even looked any of that up. I'll tell you what, I've been following. It's easier for me down here to follow the Astros and the Rangers. And the Rangers are on fire this year. They're doing great.
I don't know why this cat thinks she wants to lay on my soundboard.
Man, I don't know. Your cat just loves messing with that board for some reason.
Fuck, hold on. She unplugged the headphones.
Oh no! I had to drop the 3. I went with Mayhem's Amigos. Just hey.
Here's the evil
the coach is. All right, yeah, I can see that's the evil one. Loves to screw up a broadcast. You got to love a cat like that.
Fuck yeah, stay off the soundboard.
Yep.
Find another warm thing to sit on. And not a laptop either.
How about your wife?
Dogs are in there with her. And that cat don't like the dogs.
Well, that makes a little sense then. But yeah, we're like I said, we went to Gulf Coast today. Cubs 8, Cards 6 as the final today.
Hell yeah, they beat St. Louis, even better.
So that's 2 in a row against St. Louis that the Cubs have won.
Sounds like one more game and we got a sweep. Unless that was the
I'm not saying it. You know me. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna cause a jinx. No. I just hope for a good game tomorrow.
So
that's all.
In other news.
Yeah, what do you got?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say it or not, but I'm going to.
You found Hunter Biden's cocaine?
I wish. I'm betting it. There's one of two things Hunter Biden's cocaine is. It's either really, really, really fucking good, or it's some fucking dirt.
Powdered sugar.
All cut with fucking vitamin D and aspartame. But you got some sweet and low, man.
Maybe that's what he's using to maybe that's what he's using to get off of cocaine, is he's snorting sweet and low.
With Kamala Harris.
Right?
That's what it is. He really wanted that sugar, and she's so stupid she didn't know what she was talking about.
Right. You know what it is? He's like, hey, Kamala, come here. I've always heard snorting a line off of a stripper was great. Can I try it off of you?
Oh, dear God, don't make me barf, dude. I actually had a halfway decent Italian beef sandwich. It wasn't so dry after I dipped it in the au jus.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, you gotta, if it's dry, you gotta have some au jus there.
Well, I like my Italian beef sandwich, like you don't need to dip it in the au jus. There's so much moisture in the beef.
Right. Where it just soaks into the hoagie.
Into the bread, yeah.
I want that bread falling apart around the beef. I didn't know I ordered bread soup.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the way you want it.
A sponge.
Yeah. No, that's like getting a Philly. And then you get the Philly and it's dry and you're like, okay, I'm eating a cotton ball. No, I want that. When you bring that Philly out to me, that thing better be dripping in grease like I got it in downtown Philly.
Right? See, and that's one thing. That's one place I eventually need to go, and one thing I definitely need to try is a real Philly cheesesteak from Philly,
man,
while watching the Philadelphia Phillies play a game.
Everybody's got something you got to try when you go there, right?
Yeah.
And I think they said it best in the. Wow, I'm going to date myself and quote a movie that really just dates me, okay? They said it best in the original Smokey and the Bandit.
You shouldn't have told me. I'd have guessed it.
Where you are standing in whatever part of the country determines just how dumb you really are.
I actually quoted that at work the other day.
It's very true.
Hold on a second. A what?
A motorcycle rodeo.
Yeah.
Well, her boyfriend is in it in a motorcycle rodeo, where he got first place. But what the hell is it?
It's like they do like.
Oh, motorcycle rodeos are fun.
Oh hell yeah! Especially when they got the circle, and they're all in the ball, and then all of a sudden they start
riding the ball.
I've seen one where they had 8 of them in the cage going around, and it was just awesome. They do like the wall of death going in the circle sideways, and they do the big ball, and then they do like barrel races and shit like that.
Yeah, it is a blast.
It is pretty awesome.
It's almost as fun as watching a Cubs game in the bleacher seats.
Yeah. My buddy Dakota, he actually used to be the founder. Well, he is the founder of the Motorcycle Cowboys.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you know, like I said, it's amazing to me that the whole country jumps up in arms over a song.
Yeah.
I'm very proud to admit, though, we went through San Antonio. I did not copy Ozzy, and I did not stop to pee on the Alamo.
I'll tell you something else too, man. Because you know they want to get all up in arms about Jason Aldean, you know, in that song. But Kesha is the greatest songwriter for WAP.
What the hell is that?
If you really think she actually has enough intelligence to write a song that fucking dumb, you're fucking Jesus, Murphy.
You know, how difficult is it to write a song that retarded?
It took 7 people to do it.
Are you kidding me?
7 people wrote WAP.
Well, here, I'll write a parody to it. Wet ass anus, wet ass anus. How about that?
No, a guy actually already did. It's called Little Ass Dick.
So he is Caucasian.
On my balls with my little ass dick. I drive a big ass truck with my little ass dick.
Yeah, and it took him all of like 3 minutes, and it's just the same thing repeating over and over. They couldn't figure out how to write a song.
Yeah. Jeez, dude. Oh my.
You know what?
Sorry, songwriting is a dying art.
You know what? I want to see them try to come up with something equal to like "We Built This City" by Jefferson Starship.
But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, check out the band me and Slider talked to last Tuesday called Mass Punishment.
I'll have to check them out. All right.
Yeah, they got a song called "Godless American." The guy is a veteran of the Gulf War way back in the 90s. Or no, not the 90s. Early 2000s, Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Okay.
He's a veteran of that, and yeah, it's fucking badass.
The song is "You Won't Do This in a Small Town," and it's by Jason Aldean. And I guess
try that in a small town.
Or you won't try that in a small town. It's by Jason Aldean. And I guess one of the big reasons people got offended by it was the video. Because they said the video was filmed where the band was sitting at was on it was on something where a race riot happened or something.
I actually just watched the video an hour ago for the first time. I've heard the song a couple of times. But I said, you know what? I need to watch this video. I need to get, a little more in depth with it. And it's basically news articles and video feeds of all the riots and all the bullshit happening in major cities. You know, and
Right.
people throwing shit at police and spitting on cops. And that's even what the lyric says, you know, try spitting on a cop in a small town. You know, where we're watching each other's backs and we're taking care of each other. What you're doing in the cities, you ain't gonna get away with here.
No. You know, I live in a small town now. Kingsland's only about 4,000 people.
And the people that are throwing a fit about the video, you're the ones that fucking created it by putting yourself out there and putting yourself on the news and rioting and looting and being a bullshit piece of shit human.
I mean, like my uncle, all right, let me set this for you. Now, we went to one of my favorite places in Port Aransas today. I'm not going to say the name because they did very much upset me today, where they haven't before. I waited 40 minutes for my drink, but my son got his. We had waited almost an hour for my food. And when I walked, I got the first one on the house because it took them so long. When my second one came out, I asked, hey, where can I go have a cigarette? Oh, go over here on the dock by the bay, and you can have your cigarette. So I did. When I came back, my table was cleared, and they were trying to give it to somebody else.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and my uncle was like, and I will not walk a tab ever. I won't do it. But my uncle was like, you should have walked that fucking tab right then and there and went on down to the other place.
Yeah.
And, you know, I damn near did.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Hold on, I'll be right back. Speaking of drinks, I'm thirsty.
Well, I am too, but I got to wait until I get home. Otherwise, I'm drinking water. You know, I couldn't believe it. Like, wow, really? I was gone for 8 minutes, long enough to smoke a cigarette. I come back, and you clear my table?
Not only 8 minutes, like
Boy,
Yeah,
they were
dude.
just...
I'd be a little upset about that.
I was highly pissed. I'm going to call the manager on Monday. And I'm going to say, look, I was there, and I don't blame the waitress. I mean, she was apologetic. She was jumping through hoops to try to make it the normal experience for me. Riley, turn your phone down. I'm on the air. I was irate.
He said.
And I'm like, I'm going to call the manager on Monday while I'm at work. And I'm going to say, look, you know, I've been in there. That was one of the first places I ever went to as an adult going out to the island. And I've never been treated like that. So I get where they were coming from. I understand that they got their problems. They didn't have the staff, blah, 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 blah. But 40 minutes for a drink? An hour for my food and it was cold?
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
I mean, my oysters were... I got fried oysters, fried shrimp, and fried fish. I got the sampler. The oysters were terrible because they were so cold.
That just sounds nasty.
The shrimp was not what I'm used to in there. I barely choked down my fish. I was so pissed. I mean, I ate half of it. I said, give me a to-go box and give me my tab. We're getting out of here. And I mean, we took off, we hit the ferry, and we started coming home, you know? It's just like, I went to the island because I wanted to give my son a great experience.
They gave us the worst.
And that place has always treated me great. And it was terrible, man. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that sounds shitty.
Well, and I mean, I've been in there, Chris. I've been in there a half a dozen times. And never have I ever had that happen. I mean, that's usually a place that I talk about and I brag about it.
See, and I'm sorry that if you ask me, that reflects on the tip I leave you.
Well, like I said, I mean, I don't blame the waitress at all.
I mean, me and my wife, we went out for dinner tonight, and our waitress was awesome. She was on top of shit. Uh, and our bill was $65. I just left 80 on the table and walked out.
Yeah, right? All right, look, I'll give you another one.
I've been told I'm a very bad over tipper.
Well, here,
I said no such thing, because when I was a server, I had a table come through one night, and I saw that they left a $50 bill on the table, and they asked, can we say a prayer with you? And I'm like, you left a $50 bill on the table, fucking. You're lucky I'm not jumping up, praising Jesus and screaming hallelujah with you.
Right? But I mean, you know what? When I look back on my life and I think about the things that I've done and what I've got to accomplish, I got to be honest with myself. I'm very blessed because I got to actually work my dream jobs. One of them we're doing right now, broadcasting, was one of my dream jobs. I got to do it. So yeah. I've been and I got to get paid for it at one point in my life. So I'm very blessed. And now, even more so, because financially, if we want to be very honest about it, financially, I'm pretty secure. And I'm getting ready to further my education and take my career to the next level. I'm pretty secure. So I like to pass that on as kind of like karma, or God looking out for me or karma or whatever, and kind of get that back a little bit too. You know what I mean? Call it a coin in the karma bank. Long way around, but LTX Mercantile, which is a place I go to frequently, I know the owner. I know the bartender there. I love the store they've got. I mean, it is a lot of fun to go in there. I love going to a bar that says, I will praise Jesus, and then just as quick turn around and go, fuck you, TJ. And I've had it happen.
See, now here's what I say, and that's why my wife tries to get me to go to church with her.
Well,
personally, I say I am an Odinist. I believe in the ancient, the beliefs of my ancestors. But my wife tries to get me to go to church with her. And my thing about it is I can't stand those people that say they're all holy and go to church on Sunday, but yet you're not.
You know what? There is a church I like to go to now that is down here. It's in Castell, Texas. That is a DWJ church. Do you know what that means?
Yes. Yes, I do. Oh my goodness, I can't think of it though.
That is drinking with Jesus.
Okay.
You get to church, and the first thing you get handed to you is a Bloody Mary.
Sounds like my kind of church.
You sit and you listen to sermon, and you listen to scripture. While you're doing that, you get another Bloody Mary.
Well, here's my idea about going to church. Going to church is the same as going to the weed man's.
Clarify.
You go in, you sit down, you bullshit for a little bit, you give the man a little bit of money, and you leave with something that makes you feel a lot better about your day. Am I
You're
right?
not far off. You're not far off. That fits. Oh my God. And that's kind of the thing now my ex-wife is she's a holy roller, man. Boy, I mean, I think she tried to beat me with that book in my sleep.
See,
I am not a church going person, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I do have a lot of the faith that still sticks from my upbringing as a Catholic, but my thought process has evolved a lot since then. I see what I believe in around me all the time, just in creation.
Well, yeah.
And if anybody wants to try to tell me that God didn't do a bunch of good stuff here, let me give you an example from Bill Cosby. Man invented the refrigerator and man invented the car. God created the tree and God created the rabbit. The wheels fell off the car and the refrigerator broke down. The tree's still up and the rabbit's still running.
Okay.
I don't get it.
I mean, that basically breaks it down, you know?
Basically, what he's saying is the stuff that man creates will break and fall apart and quit running, but the stuff that's created by whatever higher being is out there is everlasting until man destroys it.
Pretty much.
I
mean, now don't get me wrong.
My brother-in-law, he always likes to say, "Well, you're in the Bible Belt now, buddy." I'm like, dude, you guys ain't got shit on them fuckers in Oklahoma and West Texas.
No, they don't.
I mean, I worked with a group of guys in Oklahoma, and they all went to church together on Sunday too. And I'm not a churchgoer, but the one guy, he actually one day got mad and started yelling at me. God says you're supposed to go to church on Sunday, and by damn it, you need to go to church on Sunday. I'm like, dude, you need to take like 15 to 20% off there, Squirrely Dan, because it ain't happening.
Take about 20% off of it there, Squirrely Dan. Oh, man. No, I am not no, Adam, it's not a comedy club. You actually get actual scripture. And I mean, no, it's decent. And then when it's done,
now,
you get a brisket sandwich. When it's done, you get a brisket sandwich and another Bloody Mary, and that's the end of service. You know, hey!
3 Bloody Marys and a brisket sandwich?
Yeah, that's my kind of church.
Fuck yeah. Now,
I love communion there.
My buddy Brian, he actually has a church in Marseilles, and he live feeds his sermons on Sunday on Facebook, and I'll pop in every once in a while on a Sunday just to say hi to the sermon and whatnot. But I told him one of these days, I'm not going to tell him when I'm going to do it, but I saw a video, and I don't give a fuck. I'm stealing this guy's idea. They went into a church dressed as hot dog vendors, yelling out, hot dogs for sale. And the pastor was up front, and he's like, hey, you can't do that here. And they're like, hey, dude, you got to make your money. We got to pay our rent too, bud.
Hey, you know what? Let me know when you do that, because I'm going to go with you, only I'm going to be the one like at Wrigley Field. Call back! I'll even fill the tray full of old style.
Fuck yeah. Cold beer and old style and hot dogs. Yup.
Right.
And we'll walk around. Yes, we'll dress like the fucking Cubs guys that walk around. Yeah.
We'll do it, man. I'll bet you we get more money than the collection plate does that day.
Well, I don't know. He said the old ladies that go to his church are liable to kick our asses. I said, little old ladies, come on with it.
Hey, you know what? Adam hits it right there. Adam hits it right there on the head. He says he's an ordained minister, omniist, and believe what you want as long as it makes you a better person.
Yes.
And you know what? That's all religion should really boil down into, look, don't be an asshole.
Exactly.
But you got a lot of them that have taken, you got a lot of these religions that have taken it and they've twisted it, and they're like, give me money and you are going to go to hell unless. No, just don't be an asshole.
Here's what I say, and this is one of my Chronic's guide to living. Do what makes you happy, as long as it doesn't inhibit on someone else's happiness or way of life.
So it was okay for me to take a dump in the bathroom at the old truck stop on Lorenzo Road, as long as it wasn't your bathroom.
Pretty much.
Okay. And then the next driver walks in and goes, man, something died in there.
And that's why you were not allowed to use my personal bathroom. Ladies and gentlemen, so I worked at this truck stop off I-55 on Lorenzo Road, and you pulled into the parking lot, and you were basically pulling into 1983.
Yeah, you were.
I mean, the pumps were updated for the time being, but the store, it was just like a little fucking shack. And I guess years ago, that building wasn't even there, and it actually was like a shack job site trailer where you went in and paid for your food and got your fucking snacks and whatever. But we had snacks and cold soda, and cashier behind the counter was usually me. And right there, like to my right, I could reach over and put my hand on it. It was right on the other side of our lottery and com data machines was a door, which was my own personal bathroom.
Right.
And if you walked into the gas station and you didn't see me standing or sitting right there, I was either
playing your Xbox.
Playing my Xbox. I was either in the bathroom taking a shit or out back smoking one. And you could usually tell by the smell.
Yeah, you could. Dude, walking in there when Chris was working was like walking into a bad rerun of Clerks.
Dude,
it really was.
Times. And the thing about it is too is it's just outside of Wilmington, Illinois, which is a whole bunch of small communities that I have lived in for years. So all the locals that come in, I know all the fucking locals. And I don't know how many times someone I know came in, looked at me, and yeah, of course you're working. It smells like a fucking Cheech and Chong concert in here.
Oh, that's funny.
And me, I'm just sitting there. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. Man, and that's where Chris and I met. And my God, man, just friends ever since.
Well, and it's actually funny because there was a couple of different drivers that I actually got to smoke with me.
Yeah, I couldn't touch it, man.
TJ never did, but there was, and I think one of the ones I'm talking about.
Probably. It wouldn't surprise if it's the one I'm thinking of. That don't surprise me in the least.
I mean, dude, it's killing me to say his name or the company he worked for, but I can't do that on air, so I'm not going to. But you know.
Did the company start with a T?
No, it started with a G.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yep.
I'll be damned. Yeah, I figured as much.
Dude, man. Like, I don't know what his problem was. I don't know if he was just like a drug addict that couldn't find drugs or anything, but every time he'd come into that store, you got
some good shit.
You got one, man? I got about an hour to kill. You got one?
Oh, man. That's great. Probably sat out back.
Yep, right there at the back door. Usually with that big fan blowing down the hallway, trying to push it all out the door.
Right. Failing miserably, but trying nonetheless. Do you remember the night we sat there with the CB?
Yes.
Oh
And
my
we were sending them over
God.
across to the Flying J, saying that there were some lot lizards over there and shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a little bit weird sometimes. And one night I knew it was gonna be a boring night. It was a fucking boring job for the most part. My job was basically sit there and make sure the place don't get robbed. Which
Right.
one of the guys wasn't very good at his job.
No, he wasn't.
But
I miss
it's
him
okay.
too.
Dude, I really truly miss that kid. So, and I'm gonna say it, Ian Ferry, if you're out there, if you're ever watching, hit me up, brother. I miss you, bud. But fucking, I was so bored. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this CB in, and I'm gonna find a way to wire it up and make it fucking work. And I did, and we had it working.
And then I come walking in. I'm like, hey, let's have some real fun.
See, now that reminded me that there was an old intercom system that did not work. And of course, I'm me, and I'm there for fucking 10 hours by myself with nothing to do. So one night I fucking chased these wires for the intercom system. The next time the federated driver came in at 2 o'clock in the morning, I had Elmer Fuddpuckers, damn the DOT, blasted through the loudspeakers.
I still think it was funny when you handed me the mic. That one girl got out of the car. You're like, oh, you won't do anything. And I grabbed that mic. I go, show me your titties.
Yes.
And then she turned around and flashed us. We're like, yeah!
Oh, man, dude, I do miss
We had a lot of... I didn't even work there, and we had a lot of fun at that truck stop.
No, because...
My son is looking at me with a very disapproving look right now.
Well, the thing about it is, is you're only allowed to drive so far before you're mandatory required to take a break. And a lot of our comm data guys managed to line up their break with their fuel stop and just came and hang out with me on their breaks because I'm cool as fuck and I ain't got nothing better to do and shit. Sure.
See, I didn't even use comm data. That was just my stop point to get coffee.
Oh yeah. You didn't even fuel or nothing. You just always pulled in and pulled right up along the building. Yeah,
I pulled in and I got I went in and I got something to chew on, I got coffee. I mean, but no, I'd sit there and bullshit with you, and then I'd get on the road and I'd go up to Chicago because I did that round robin. But our fuel was
because TJ pulling in the way he pulled in, and it was like Cletus T. Snow fucking pulling in, almost jackknifing it right in front of the building.
You gotta admit though, I knew what I was doing with that truck.
Oh yeah. Oh dude. And I had a lot of, even like, when people like TJ and shit wasn't around, I still had fun working there. There was one night I had a guy come in and he come dada and hands me his card. I'm like, all right. And I could tell this is already going to be an issue.
This is going to be a bad day.
Yeah. This guy, I'm like, all right, what's your company name? What's your company name? Who do you drive for? Oh, so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. And then he said Chicago and started rattling off an address. I don't need all that. I just need a company name. What's your truck number? Numero truck. Oh, this number. Okay. What's your mileage? Mileage. How many miles are on your truck? And he did not understand mileage. I'm like, all right, buddy, I'm going to get this information myself. Let's go out to your truck. And we go out, and I actually jumped up in the driver's seat. And the whole time I'm cussing him out. Can't even fucking speak English yet. You can drive a fucking semi. How the fuck do you read the signs? I look at the color. You know how many fucking green signs are on the highway, you dipshit? So I hop up in his truck and I'm writing down his mileage and his fucking tractor number and all this other shit. And then I look down and the fucking truck's running. I just fucking pushed the clutch in, put it in gear, said, "My truck now." And he, "Oh, no, don't take my truck. Don't take my truck. Oh, you speak fucking English now, don't you, motherfucker?"
Oh God, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that one.
Oh, there was
I think you
another
told me
night.
about that later.
Yeah, well, there was another night, and you know how it got really windy? You'd open the one door, and it would just rip the door wide open.
Yeah,
So we would
just rip it right out of your hand.
So we would lock that door, and I'd put a sign on it, wind, too windy, use this door, and point
Use
an
other
arrow
door.
right at the next door. Yeah. Well, one night I saw a guy come up. He got out of his truck and he filled up his truck, and then he come up to the door and he pulled the one that was locked like 3 or 4 times. And then he looked right at the sign on the door, and then he walked away. And I didn't think much of it, whatever. Fucking all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, I hear a noise coming through the back. So I come out of the fucking my little area into the hallway, fucking ready to go, and see this guy that was just at the door. And like, "What the fuck you doing, man?" "Door was locked." "Oh, get the fuck out of here, man. Pay for your gas and go."
Oh my God.
The dumbest one. And I'm sorry. I love truckers.
Just the part that looks like spikes is actually just like an eyelash.
No, I did not know that.
Tell your chat.
No, you know what? I'm gonna do one better. So, the girl I've been talking to the last month or so, well, about the last 6 months, which is we've gotten real close, and it's almost at a point where we're like, you know what? We're 1,100 miles apart, but who else is going to want anything to do with us? I mean, I'm butt ugly, and she's got a bad attitude. It's a good fit, Anyway, she puts up a meme on Facebook yesterday, or the day before, and I'm cracking the fuck up when I saw it. It's a praying mantis laying on the ground with its head cut off. And underneath the caption said, "Well, at least somebody got lucky last night."
Hell yeah. Well, okay.
I don't get it.
So it's
You don't need to get it yet. You're 11.
it's still early, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I guess my daughter just found out. She's like 6 weeks pregnant.
Really?
Yeah. And
I better get a cigar,
Yeah.
Grandpa.
Well, it's still really, really, really early, but I'm already like, cool. I'm looking up "fuck you" onesies for the kid.
That's awesome, man. Hey, by the way, this car is not designed for the light at heart.
I found one that said, "I'm only here because someone got lucky." I found one that said, basically it was a "go fuck yourself" one, or all out of fucks to give with the rainbow.
I've got one in the back seat that says, thou may now ingest a satchel of Richards."
Yes. Oh, dude, my brother, he used to have the fucking big jacked up lifted Chevy Little Dick Special, but not that I'm a pecker checker or ball gazer or anything, but that truck wasn't the Little Dick Special for him. It was actually to keep the fat chicks out. He had a sticker, one of the magnetic bumper stickers on the back that said "I heart crack horse." And one day we're going down the street, and all of a sudden this car starts honking its horn, and it rolls up alongside us honking its horn. And my brother, "What the fuck do you want?" And the guy, "We love crack horse too."
Oh my God. That is funny.
Fuck yeah.
Dad, what about the Simba and Mufasa?
Nah, that wasn't as funny, Riley. Oh. We are driving into the sun. It is time to put on my sun protection.
It's time to dim down my hat.
I don't know the sun right now. I got blacked out curtains in the studio.
Well, I mean, we're in the car. So, like I said, we went to the coast. We're on the way home. Dude, we had a good day. My kid, he's wearing his long pants, and he takes off right down the beach and jumps right into the Gulf.
Fuck yeah.
He's like, I don't care. I'm going in. Like,
That's why you always, hey, that's one reason you, that's one reason you follow rule number 9 and always carry a knife. That way, when you randomly end up at the beach, you can just cut your pants into shorts. There you go.
Well, he left his knife at home, and those are a little more expensive. I don't want him cutting them up.
Dude.
Plus, they're about the only pair of pants he's got that really fit him.
I told this kid I work with, I am bringing the 90s back. I found the Doc Martens, and I found the Jinko stovepipes.
Oh, my God.
I am going to bring the fucking 90s back with a pair of Doc Marten boots, Jinko stovepipes, and old school Limp Bizkit t-shirt.
Oh, man. Adam hits that one on the head, too. I'll just let you read that one. That's great.
The lady at a family reunion who was smiling because she knew that the reunion wouldn't be happening if she didn't. Yes, Grandma. Hell yeah.
Oh, man, that is awesome. Oh, man, no, they're just so at work, dude. You got to hear this. You are not going to believe this shit. We've got construction going on around back where we unload, right? And normally I could get in there, and within about 2 hours, I'm back out and I'm on my way home. Well, now they're drilling the holes to reinforce because they're putting in a new silo. And they're pumping concrete in. They're not pouring it, they're pumping it in. Well, watching these guys drill a hole is painful. Because I've never seen anything that is that much of a clusterfuck.
Well, I figured it's Texas. They should know how to drill a fucking hole.
Yeah, but these guys look like they snuck over. These guys look more like they snuck over the border and said, I drilled a hole.
Oh, so it's amateur night on the oil rig.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You know, you got on the oil field.
Yeah, but I lived down in Oklahoma. I got to go to an oil field once. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Oil. Those are long hours for the truck driver.
A lot of waiting hours for the drivers on that.
Get it all. Do what?
I said a lot of waiting hours on the driver for that.
The truckers have a long day on the oil field. So we're sitting there, right? And they're doing this. And I'm going, okay. They're setting rebar. They're pumping into concrete. They're finally getting it wrapped up. But because of them all having their equipment there, truckers are fighting their ways in and out to try to unload. And then the tank guys all got to wait in line. I was there for 6.5 hours yesterday alone.
In a day cab?
Now I'm already, and that's in a day cab, and I've got 8 hours worth of driving. I've got to turn plus the unload. And that's also messing around the mine where I got to load.
See, that's bullshit.
Dude, it was...
Back in the day...
It was rough.
I did drive truck. Very briefly. And I hauled cattle. And it was the biggest truck. It was actually a Freightliner, but you didn't need a CDL to drive it because it didn't have air brakes. I can't remember exactly what truck it was, but it was fucking
Sounds like a day
badass.
cab, or it sounds like a.
No, it actually had a sleeper on it.
I was saying, sounds like a straight truck.
No, it was set up like a semi, just a little bit smaller. With fucking, and I hooked up to the fucking cattle trailer, had about 30, 40 head of cattle on it. Fucking took it over to the market once a week. And
Okay.
I always thought I would hate to have a fucking day cab, because anytime the wait time was more than 20, 30 minutes, I'm hopping in the back just to fucking lay down. I ain't sitting there in the front seat.
Nap time. Well, I mean,
Yep.
when I was working for the company I was at, I fought my way into a sleeper there. And they were primarily day cabs. I'm like, no, give me the sleeper, because if I get stuck out, I want a place to go.
Right. See, and the job I have
And
now,
that, you know, it's
I fucking love it, and I'm trying to push my way into getting an actual my own building pad and getting the fucking becoming a fabricator. Because I like going on the road, because it's like 12-hour days, fucking 15-hour days, Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday's an 8-hour day for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, dude, if they give me my own build pad and a fucking book on how to do this shit and say, here, go ahead and fucking do it, I'll get those hours right here in the shop, because I'll have an instruction manual on what I got to do, and I'll just be sitting there building shit and welding shit, putting a puzzle together.
there you go. You'd actually be real good at that too.
I'm working on it. I'm actually getting pretty darn good at it. There's a bunch of shit in the yard right now that I've built.
Here is the proof that this car is not for the weak at heart. People, you know, it was kind of funny. I've had people walk up and go, hey, man, I'd love to drive your car. And I hand them the key. And then they come back and they go, what's the third pedal for?
Well, they're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I've been told by many people not to ever repeat this story, but this is actually one of the funniest stories I ever thought of in my life. So when I learned to drive,
Yeah.
you know, my dad was a truck driver. So I learned to drive in a semi. And he had an old fucking 80s Chevy pickup, straight shift. I learned how to drive in a straight shift.
Okay.
When I went to driver's ed, and the first time we ever got into the driver's ed car, I looked at the teacher and I straight up said, where's my clutch pedal?
That's great.
Like, I did not know how to drive an automatic. I needed my clutch.
But yeah, this one is it's a 6-speed on the floor.
Right on.
I mean,
well,
I've had multiple people.
You do know a couple years ago there was a failed carjacking just because they fucking tried to jack this old lady and they couldn't drive a stick, and she called the cops while they were trying to figure her out, and eventually they took off and got caught.
There you go.
Bucks.
I've got something else in here that'll prevent a carjacking.
Probably some Smith & Wesson or Remington or maybe a little Colt security.
It is Texas. Let's face it.
S&P?
9mm.
Yep.
Like I said, it is Texas.
Yeah, this is Kentucky, so not much difference.
And it's right down there in the lockbox underneath my seat. Ready to go.
Oh, shit. My fucking niece don't even keep hers in a lockbox. She keeps it right there in her fucking cup holder. She keeps a little fucking pink 22 in her cup holder.
I'll be damned. See what you guys in Illinois are missing out on?
Yeah. Freedom. Oh, dude. This is the first.
Hey, did you hear this? Did you hear this shit? Speaking of Illinois, in their infinite wisdom, their Supreme Court has voted to enact the Safety Act completely.
What's the Safety Act?
That's the one that has the provision in it that got rid of cash bail. And if the judge doesn't think that somebody is a threat, then he can release them from jail on their own recognizance without having to pay for bail. And if it's under a certain crime, then they're released anyway.
Well, now that's a good thing and a bad thing. The reason, okay, here's the bad thing about it. You know, some of those crimes on that list, those people need to be locked up for anyways. And a lot of repeat offenders. You know, Illinois is supposed to have the 3-strike law.
Right.
Illinois does have a very, very fucked up system, though. But at the same time, it means that I can go to Illinois. I'll admit I actually do have a warrant in Will County for driving on a suspended. And I now have my license back and everything. And I've contacted Will County since this whole thing went down, and they're like, oh, yeah, yours is a non-arrestable offense. Don't even worry about it. Like, cool. Awesome.
You know, and on something like that, I could understand. You know, hey, somebody's got to get to and from work.
Right? And I mean, fucking... I said it for 10 years. People always say, you drive? Yeah, I can drive. I just can't get pulled over.
All right, Zep, where are you at? You said you'll be in Texas in a few years to settle down and get old together.
But yeah,
I'd like to know this one.
I had to get back and forth to work, and getting my license back was actually going to cost more than I can afford living in Illinois. But then when I moved to Kentucky, all of a sudden, since I moved out of to Kentucky and out of Illinois, there was a loophole where $7,000 in fines turned into, I'll just go up to the Daily Center, put my name on a piece of paper, have them notarize it, send it to the Secretary of State, and then go get my Kentucky license.
No kidding.
Yep. So, I mean, moving out of Illinois was so beneficial in so many ways.
Okay, man, you and I have known each other for quite a few years now. Yeah. You've seen me living up there, and let's say you've seen me living up there, and then you see me now. Which one would you rather sit down and have a beer with?
Probably TJ, probably Texas TJ. He seems a little more relaxed.
I'm a lot more relaxed. You know, just things don't bother me as much. Okay, Zep says his wife is in Illinois with him now. She moved from Gulfport, Mississippi. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Oh, she's there right now?
Check this out. 3 years ago, when I moved to Kentucky from Illinois,
I gave you hell.
You did give me hell.
But the only reason I did is because you went to Kentucky.
Well, I moved down here for a specific job, and I actually love this job. It is my dream job, being a metal worker and metal fabricator and building and welding some cool-ass shit. I moved to Kentucky from Illinois a little over 3 years ago with absolutely nothing.
Right.
not a pot to piss in. I mean, I had all my shit in the studio.
Well,
no,
you did
I
have
didn't
the
even
coffee
have-
can.
I did have the coffee can, but so since moving to Kentucky, I've actually started DJing for Asgard. Do that full time pretty much now. Run the station for Jim. Built up the
Right.
studio. I have a job. I have a good retirement going on. I mean, I'm dumping money into my retirement.
Exactly.
I got a decent amount in my savings account. And now if I could just figure out why when they run my credit I come up as a woman that died in 1978,
Man, your tits got
I'd
smaller.
I'd be in like Flint. Well, there's a problem at the credit bureau. And I'm
Yeah,
lucky.
obviously.
Well, I'm actually lucky that my someone I know works for a loan company, and they
Right.
ran my credit to figure it out. And for some reason, when they punch in my social security number and my name and all my other information, it defaults to a social security number that's one digit off from mine. And it goes back to a lady that died in 1978. And
Damn.
I actually have her information written down somewhere around here. I don't know what I did with it. But I'm trying to contact the credit companies and get that all straightened out and squared away. It's just one of those things that's easier said than done.
I love our chat room. I do. I love our chat room.
I can't see the chat room.
Well, right now, Zep's like, he says that he'd rather have a drink with me down here because I was all tensed up there. Adam's saying awesome to you. And then both of them are cracking up because now your credit identifies you as a woman that died in 1978.
Yeah. That's not what I identify as. That's what my credit identifies as.
So your credit went on the Biden plan.
Yeah, me personally, I'm on the real American plan. My pronouns are try me.
I like those. But man, I'm telling you, it's surprising. Yeah, so look at you. Like, I remember you in the gas station, and it was an easy job, but you smoked 3 times the weed you do now just to stay cooled out.
Well, nowadays, because of my job and shit, I do not smoke before or during work. Now, I know, and I won't say, but I know there are people at my job that are smoking during work, or they're coming in a little fucked up, or, maybe a couple of Xannies or whatever the fuck, and I'm just, when I'm at work, I'm there to do my job, stay focused, and my head needs to be clear.
Right.
Everything in that building is heavy, sharp, hot, dangerous.
Deadly.
Yeah. I mean, I've already, I just got I got fucking 6 stitches in my finger right now from not paying attention. I bet you I don't do that shit again. There you go.
Well, I mean, unless you're trying to do it for a cheap thrill.
Plus, well, and part of my good fortune lately, the reason I actually have money for once in my life, and I'm looking for a new car once I get my credit and everything figured out, is I was in an accident in January.
Man,
I fractured my T3 vertebrae and 7 ribs, but I also found out that way back in the day, I broke my neck. And it was actually fractured. There's in your C section of your spinal column, there's 4 different. You got your C1, C2, C3, C4. And your C1 is actually at the base of your skull. And if that ever breaks and dislodges, that's your kill vertebrae.
That
And
one
there's
you die.
Yeah, and that's the one I actually fractured.
Jesus.
And I told the doctor, I says, well, there is one situation I can think of where I fell off a four-wheeler and landed on my head and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, how did you walk away from that? I said, well, cocaine's a hell of a drug. They said, well, I thought you said you don't do drugs. I said, no, I don't do drugs anymore.
I don't do drugs, but the drugs do me.
Now, back in my roaring 20s, there's a reason it's called the roaring 20s.
Man, Mike, I was kind of thinking it was you, but I wasn't for sure, man. Mike said, he said, Zepp is him in Springfield. And I'm like, man, I thought it was you, but I wasn't for sure. So I was just going off of what I was seeing in the chat room. And Adam said, Chris, you're jerking off wrong.
No, I'm not. Oh, there was a TV show back in the day where this old lady critiqued the way her husband jerked off, and she said, you're doing it wrong. And I'm like, how can you do it wrong as long as you get the reaction you want at the end within 10 minutes? I mean, you're not doing it wrong.
You go side to side instead of up and down?
Well, you know, sometimes I like to feel like, imagine that, you know, she's kind of rocking her hips a little bit.
Oh, hey. Don't tell me you tried to do like the crank, you know?
Oh, the midget spin.
Oh, yeah, hey, that was a fun one. This road has been beat up, bud. Huh? The Hulk.
Hold on, I'm trying to think, because I came up with one for the Urban Dictionary a while back, and now I can't remember what it was.
Oof.
Who punched it?
Ooh.
Why were they punching the ground?
Man, Chris, I wish I could have picked up the phone and shown you that. Oh, my God, she'd get me in trouble.
No. Hold on.
Beautiful, beautiful one. Man, wow.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, I got my tickets for Full Terror Assault in Cave and Rock, Illinois.
Yeah!
Psycho Stick. It is the only festival in the world with the golf cart circle pit.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, all right. I got to do the dad thing, so give me a second here. Yeah, Riley?
Oh, yes.
Oh! You need to
Okay.
get your butt in the shower, and then you need to get your butt in bed because you're going golfing tomorrow, and you need to be up at 7 in the morning.
You're going golfing.
Dude, I like golfing. Look at this.
Do you go golfing Happy Gilmore style?
I go golfing drunk.
Okay.
I mean, for crying out...
If you don't do at least one Happy Gilmore swing within your fucking 18 holes, is it really golfing?
Well, yeah. Huh? I don't know. Stop being paranoid about the mouse. And I've got to find where did my Crown Royal cup go?
Because they have been hinting and teasing about a Happy
shower
Gilmore
time.
too.
That, you know what? They have been. And that looks like it's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Just who's going to play
What?
Bob Barker?
So, yeah, now he's covered in sand and dragging it all into the house.
So, check this out. I got a new one for the Urban Dictionary. And
Okay.
If you don't know what the Urban Dictionary is, you need to just get the hell out of here.
Well, I'm listening.
This one, shit, and of course the wife has to walk in the room right as I'm saying this. I'm calling it the Cayenne Hose Clamp. You douse her pillow with cayenne pepper.
Her pillow?
You douse her pillow with cayenne pepper. You start hitting her doggy style, and then you smash her face into the pillow and wait for her to start sneezing.
That's fine. That is awesome.
Wrong. Are you talking with DJ?
Yeah.
Okay, why does he turn you into this person?
I actually came up with that a while ago.
I know, but
I don't know
this
you.
person until you're talking to him.
What? Don't blame me. You married him. You can't blame me when you married him for him coming up with this shit. He was coming up with this long before I met him.
She can't hear you.
I just encourage it.
Get you meow.
No, he's saying don't blame me. You're the one that married him. I don't do it. I just encourage it.
Yeah.
See, and that's what it is, because my mother told her when she met my mother that Chris used to be the king of inappropriate sayings. And
Oh yeah.
nowadays I hide it very well. But certain people in certain situations can bring back the king
There's your
of
swim trunks. Wear those
inappropriate
tomorrow.
sayings.
And DJ is that person?
And TJ's one of them people. Raven, quit hitting
Yeah.
my.
Well, yeah. You know, I'm good at it. All right, Riley. I'm gonna step outside so I can talk about this because you don't need to hear what I'm about to bring up. Huh?
Huh?
Because then you don't need underwear because
10
you got your
o'clock.
underwears already in your swim trunks, and
Yeah.
you might be going swimming tomorrow. I don't know yet.
We might finish up at 9 because we're not.
So,
on,
you're going golfing?
Because I
I
totally.
read the question for today.
Ugh.
I didn't tell you it, but I read the question to Mandy and I said, and tomorrow's question is, I said, oh my God, dear God.
All right, I'll be back in a bit.
Write a book.
Okay,
No,
what's
actually, I
today's
have
question?
I was actually posed a question today.
Tomorrow's
When I was
question
in-
is what turns you into a kid?
What turned
What
you
turned me into a
kid?
kid?
Today's
Porn.
question is what gets you motivated?
What gets me? Today's question is what gets you motivated.
Porn.
TJ's answer to both questions is porn.
Porn?
I literally could write a book on what turns me into a kid because
Right.
Everything.
At any moment you never know, we could be sitting there and a butterfly will fly past and I'll just go full retard.
Any
Oh
button-
look, a butterfly, and
Any
start
button in the
chasing it.
store that says push me.
Any button in the store that says push me and a few that don't.
Well, I like pushing the ones that don't tell me to push them because, well, I either get their phone number or I get slapped.
Well, the other day, I was there and my wife, she works there and she was covering for another person and she was at the register. And while she was finishing up with the person before me, I reached over and I kept flipping her conveyor belt button on and off, on and off. And she's like, why are you pushing that button? I said, because it's a button that I'm not supposed to push, so I really want to.
Yeah. Any button.
Okay, so I was in a chat room on another show today, and there were some comments that were made. Well, there were some comments that were made back and forth, and I said, remember that if she swallows, that's another form of cannibalism.
I had one of those cheddar hot dogs.
Okay. Well,
hot dogs.
So
Yeah.
here's where it gets. There was a woman in the chat room that came back and she goes, well, what if she spits? Is that child endangerment? And I said, you know what? That's a good
Did you
question.
tell him you're going to be a grandpa?
I'm going to pose that here.
So if a woman swallows, they call it
That's-
cannibalism.
Right.
But if she spits, is that considered child endangerment?
Shut up.
I got the gear
What about-
idiot look with the shut up.
What about child neglect?
Child neglect, maybe? Child abuse?
Could be.
I mean, you're spitting on what could have been your kids. And
Is she
I mean,
leaving the room now, appalled at the two of us again?
And yeah, and apparently, according to the powers that be, life begins at ejaculation.
I don't know. What do you think, Mike? Let's ask the chat room. What's the chat room think on that?
If that's the case, I pretty much should have gotten a child endangerment charge every day of my life since I've been about 13 years old.
Me too. Oh God. Man, I think we got a rainstorm that's trying to roll in.
Larry, the cable guy that did that bit about having the towel that's worth a couple $1,000. I think I got a few of those.
I remember when we prank called. I think you were there for that one, but Marvin and I prank called the sperm bank.
Marvin. I think I remember that one.
And Marvin actually tried to convince him
to make a deposit.
Yeah. Like, how much would you pay me? Look, I'm only 69 years old. That's a good number, you know? And it was hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Of course, I mean, the one that was the classic with him, though, that I'll never forget is him calling the place that has Secretariat and then telling them that he wanted me to pull in with the semi because I was driving through just so I could take a picture of the statue so he could verify the size of Secretariat's balls. And then he had that woman believing he was related to Randy the Macho Man, or Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, dude. And she bought everything, hook, line, and sinker.
You know, I just actually rewatched a whole bunch of him and Hulk Hogan's like promo videos from way back when.
Oh man, those two were great together.
They were, but holy fucking cocaine and steroids.
Ain't it the truth, man? Ain't it the truth? That's wild. No, hell, we got asked last week, oh, where's all your live viewers? And I said, look, I'm not worried about the live viewers. I'm glad when the live viewers are here and they can comment. Don't get me wrong. But I know it's Saturday night. It's date night. People are out doing stuff. We're relying on the replay.
Yeah.
And our replay numbers look great.
And for all you people that fucking are watching on the replay, I'll give you a quick rundown. We're waiting, you know, TJ's going to get all set up, and TJ is going to be doing the afternoon drive on Tuesdays and Thursdays on AsgardRadio.com.
That's right. You got to check me out there, man.
And we still have April Santos on Monday nights.
Dude, she's fucking great. I love listening to her show.
She is. Hold on, I'll call you back in a little bit. We're actually live right now. We got Doug, he wants to be live right now.
Well, you got the link.
All right, hold on. I'll send you the link.
But man,
Slider,
I'm telling you, dude.
Slider on Tuesday with New Tuesday. So I told Jim, you know, I got to promote the show and I got to promote everything we do everywhere.
Right.
Slider does New Tuesday on Tuesday evenings. I do Whiskey Wednesday, which is all drinking music and all requests. Then Slider does Throwback Thursdays. I usually try to do the Friday afternoon drive. Just lately, my life has been a whole entire clusterfuck. I did get on this morning, and I will get on sometime tomorrow. But I'm usually on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Just
right.
I got so much going on between work and family and life in general, and trying to be ready.
And you're about to be grandpa, man. That's fucking awesome. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Dude, that is so cool. All right, so I'm going to see if my phone will let me screenshot. It ain't going to do it.
But, yeah.
Oh, I think that's Doug.
So I just say, you know, hey, hit me up on Facebook, Chris Ness. or follow the Asgard Facebook page. And you'll always know when someone's on air to listen to, or just listen
Right.
to the fucking music's always going. We got the auto DJ.
Yeah, what we used to call the bird. Oh, shit. I didn't mean for it to do that.
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're burning shit.
Oh, nice. I had one going last night.
I'm sitting out here with the rattlesnakes.
I hear they're good eating.
They are. They really are.
Yeah, but you have a fire. It actually attracts them down there.
Yeah, they're
They
trying to
wanna
warm
get-
up.
Yeah, they're trying to go to the warm.
But it's not. That's not why we got the burn ban right now. It's because we haven't had much rain.
Fuck, dude, we've
I
been
wouldn't let that
getting
stop me.
doused.
Just burn everything down real quick.
Well, I tried doing that once, but then the cops came over and they said, "Look, we really appreciate you standing out there peeing and spinning in a circle,
Yeah.
but that's not really spraying it down." And we're also under water restrictions right now too, so I can't get the hose out and go. Good, we're in a drought.
Just tell them it's stored rainwater.
I said, "What if I dump the black water tank on my coach?" And they said, "No, that'd be a shitty experience."
Yeah, it would.
So I mean, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. What do you do?
Move the fuck out of Texas, because Texas sucks.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Texas is one of the better states to live in.
No, it's not. Everything's bigger in Texas, which, great for like meals and stuff, but it also, equates to drive times. So one town to the next is like a 2-hour fucking drive, and you're only going to the Walmart for like 3 things.
I don't deal with that. I go from Kingsland to Marble Falls. It's a half hour, and well, I lived out in the middle of nowhere, both when I was in Indiana and in Illinois.
Well, that's because everywhere in both those states is the middle of nowhere, unless you're
That's
in
true.
Unless
Until
you're
you
in
get to
Chicago
Chicago or
or
Springfield.
Well, I mean, I was in Goofy Ridge, Illinois, for crying out loud, and I just sold my house there. That's
Nowhere.
good news.
Nowhere.
So, Goofy Ridge, you literally drove an hour in any direction to get anything, unless you were going to Havana. And the best thing that you could find in Havana was either herpes or meth or jail. You could go to jail in Havana pretty easily. But the things that you found the most of were herpes and meth heads.
Yeah, we got that around here too.
Yeah, you guys got a
Yeah.
lot of herpes there.
I was referring to the meth head, but
No,
Probably.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of those here too. They're everywhere.
they're all over the place, man.
You can't hide from the tweakers. Dude,
Well,
fucking,
yes, I
I'll tell you
can.
what. I'll tell you what. I was about to call that officer friendly a goddamn liar until I finally moved to Kentucky. He said someday some random stranger is going to offer you drugs. It's never been the case for Chronic Chris. He's always been one to ask random strangers if they have drugs. But I'm down
I
in
can
Kentucky.
buy that one.
I'm down in Kentucky straight up. I didn't even ask. I just said, man, I'm feeling a little bit tired. Girl looked at me. Oh, you want some Adderall? You're fucking with me, right? No, I'm good. I'll fucking ride it out. I actually like feeling high like this.
Right?
But there was one night. So when I first moved down here, I was ready for the job I have now, but the job I have now wasn't quite ready for me. So
Nobody's
I had to take another.
yep.
Yeah, nobody's ever quite ready for me.
Ain't that the truth?
But I took a job, working midnights at Huddle House, being a server. And they thought it was weird that I was a male server, but I'm like, dude, I've been a male server before. It ain't no fucking thing off me just because I don't fucking wear a skirt don't mean I can't fucking, do this job, whatever. But,
well, you're not going to get the big tips without the big tits. So, just so you know that.
Yeah, that's always true. They always did tip the girls a little bit better than me.
Well, the
But
girls
one
have a
night-
little bit more to offer. What are you
One
gonna do?
night,
You
you
gonna
know-
walk up to? Are you gonna walk up as a server to a bachelorette party and drop your dong on the table and go, "What do you think of that? Hey, can I get a bigger
He
tip
would.
now?"
He
Well,
would.
there was one night, like 2 o'clock in the morning,
Oh, he did it.
right after the midnight drunk rush. No, I went out back and I was smoking a joint, just trying to relax a little bit after all the bullshit. And the fucking one cook comes out and he pulls out a fucking light bulb and a torch and starts heating up his meth. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Fucking go do that shit in your car. He's like, yeah, you're standing there smoking a joint. I said, yeah, anyone rolls up unless they're actually smelling it. It just looks like I'm smoking a cigarette. We know what you're doing with that fucking light bulb, dude.
Right. Fulgard is Doug there, Mike, and he is in Crawfordsville, Indiana.
Yes.
Huh?
Justin do that too?
I can't believe that he would admit to being in Indiana. Most people that live there don't admit to being there.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I moved here. Okay. Originally, I was from Illinois. All right. It's bad enough I admit that.
I mean, I lived
Yeah,
there for a year, and I'm like, fuck this. Illinois was not better, but
But where he
deal with
lived
the
in
devil you know.
Illinois, where he lived in Illinois wasn't too bad because he lived like right next to Mazonia.
Yeah. The
oh,
fishing
see,
is
I
good.
figured where he was at in Illinois was next to a strip bar or something.
There wasn't one.
He did live right across from the Stumble.
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which
I like the one
it was,
meme
it
that I
was
seen.
Doug's house, the Stumble Inn, and then the Mazonia State Park Fish and Wildlife area.
I'll be damned. Well, now here's the thing, though. Doug can make a lot of claims, but I have a friend that passed away, God rest his soul, that he actually traded Tickle Me Elmo dolls for blowjobs.
I can
Well, nowadays those are collector's items.
Oh, no. This was when they were brand new, and these Tickle Me Elmo dolls were handed over for a Toys for Tots drive. And he was supposed to be taking them to Toys for Tots, and instead he traded them for blowjobs.
Oh, well, now he's just a fucking douchebag.
No, wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute. Was he trading them to kids for blowjobs or adults?
No. It was moms that were, single moms walking up going,
Well, I mean,
oh,
if it
my
was some-
kid would love to have that, but I can't afford it. I've got something I can give you for it, though.
That's funny.
And then he
Well,
goes,
I mean,
well, hey, I know what I'd be happy to give you.
well, I mean, I guess it's still in a way helping the needy.
I mean,
I mean, even though that's
Give
a little, dig a little.
I mean, I've done some douchebag shit, but I would
that's some douchebaggery.
I would never fuck with Toys for Tots. Only
Man,
because
that
I know who runs Toys for Tots, and they could stomp a mud hole in me bigger than fucking the state TJ lives in.
Right.
I ain't ever fucking with them.
But I mean,
Toys
yeah,
for Tots is run by the Marines.
that was a level of douchebaggery that I've never seen before, and I have not seen since.
Yeah, I like the one meme that I seen, oh, you're from Illinois, and it shows the Chicago sideline, skyline, and it's like, no, I'm from Illinois, cornfield.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about it, though?
I was driving to Louisville a couple weeks ago, and I thought, dude, oh my God, this is just fucking. It's not like driving through Illinois, and all I get is cornfield. I drive from my house to Louisville, and I'm literally driving through a forest 90% of the way until I get to Fort Knox.
Well, like I said, my son and I today, we drove down to the Gulf Coast. And it was mountains, it was cotton fields, it was all sorts of stuff the whole way there and back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We got some hills and stuff around here,
Even, fucking just driving through, anywhere but the Midwest: Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, Indiana, uh, Missouri. Once you get far enough west in Missouri, it starts to get really.
Oh, you get down into the
Pretty
Ozarks. I
easy.
mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Getting down in the Ozarks and shit, that's really beautiful. But the Midwest, for the most part, unless you love staring at cornfields and wheat fields, stay the fuck out.
Hey! You forgot bean fields.
Oh yeah, bean fields too.
Yep.
Let's say, don't forget the bean fields.
Well, and I
Bean
mean, you
farmers
know,
will
they're
come after you.
down
Well-
here, you kind of deal with the same thing, believe it or not. You know, somebody goes, "Oh, where are you from?" And you know, now I look up and I go, "Well, I'm from Texas." Oh, Houston? No, motherfucker, not Houston.
And not
Well,
Dallas
even though-
either.
Not fucking Dallas either.
Well, even though I live in Kentucky, I will never say I'm from Kentucky. I mean, honestly, people ask where you from. Well, I lived in Illinois, but I was born, I grew up in Iowa, right on the Mississippi River.
That explains a lot.
And once you get off the Mississippi River, the rest of Iowa is a cornfield all the way across.
Yes.
Except for Des Moines.
I just want to know one thing. You were born in HEB Hospital, huh, Mike? In 74.
What's HEB Hospital?
I'm thinking that's down around San Antonio. Because HEB is our grocery chain down here. Oh, Bedford, Texas.
Bedford, Texas. Hold on. What is in Bedford, Texas?
Hurst, Euless, Bedford, Texas.
There is something I know from Bedford, Texas.
I saw propane and propane accessories.
No, that's Arlen.
I've been you guys for just a minute. I got to grab a drink.
Oh, and I swear to God, we saw those guys today.
Do you need a drink?
Dude, there were 3 guys. Only one of them was missing. They were standing at the garbage can drinking beer, bullshit, and my wife, look at that, fucking straight up Kentucky fucking redneck shit. I'm like, that's some fucking King of the Hill shit. They're only missing the one. It's probably fucking Boomhauer dangle going on over there and getting me a little butterfly.
Well, it's dang dong dong dang dong dong dang dong dong.
Did you know
Don't
Mike
talk about mom
Judge-
like that.
Mike Judge did a interview where he was talking about how he came up with the voices and shit. And Boomhauer was actually based on a real person that called him to complain about Beavis and Butthead. And
Really?
The guy called him, and that was how he thought, put them dang old boys on TV. They're going to make fun of everything, what's going on. It ain't right. And that's how he came up. Beavis and Butthead were actually 2 kids that he went to school with. That's what he based them on.
No shit.
Yeah.
I love this. Mike says that it's in between Dallas and Arlington, which
Okay.
he gets to see that. When he gets to see that, he's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go out by Weatherford.
Now, I know where Weatherford, Texas is. I've been there.
I've been drunk there.
I haven't.
I'm relatively certain, Doug, that I've been drunk in more places than you have.
I bet I've been drunk more days in a row than you have.
Well, yeah, more than likely. I drive a truck for a living.
I used to drive truck.
I mean, to stay in that career, you got to be permanently drunk.
Maybe that was my problem. They wouldn't let me drink.
No, I say pretty easily I'm from Texas because to boil it right down, and Chris has heard me say this 1,000 times. When I was living in southern New Mexico and West Texas, that was my happiest until now. I was extremely happy out there. So
Yeah,
getting back
it's so
down here
fucking
to
nice
the
down there, it's okay to live in a tent.
dude, getting back down here to 110-degree summers and 80-degree winters and the rattlesnakes and the scorpions and everything else. I mean, I love being back.
I wouldn't mind the rattlesnakes and the scorpions. The 110-degree summers you can shove so far up your ass you can taste that
you may
heat.
get on your Xbox.
But the thing about it is, it's not 110 degrees with the humidity like we have, Doug.
I know, but he can still take that 110-degree shit and shove it.
So your 110 degrees with zero humidity does not feel like 110 degrees.
No.
Don't care. It's still triple digits.
Plus, when I lived out in Phoenix, the coolest thing about Phoenix, every single neighborhood, you can find swimming pools open to the public everywhere.
Okay, I'll get it. But yeah, I mean, I love the weather we've got down here. I'll take my 80-degree winters.
That's fine. I could deal with 80-degree winters, but it's that triple digit, summer heat. I don't care that it's, dry heat. It's still triple digit.
Well, now, here's the thing, though. And Chris is kind of mistaken a little bit. Because where I live, I have Lake LBJ, Lake Buchanan, Inks Lake, Lake Marble Falls, and Lake Travis all around me.
So you got the humidity, too.
I do have but it's not as bad. All right, now, you look at central Illinois or central Indiana, and when that heat starts to hit, you get to 95. That is a skull-crushing humidity that will eat your ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the humidity here, the maximum you see is 30%. Because the heat actually cooks the humidity off.
Well, that and we got all the cornfields that just, evaporate the moisture into the air and make it that much worse.
See, down here now, the thing is down here we've got the juniper cedar. And man, in the wintertime when they start to bloom, they blow off that fucking pollen and it looks like a red cloud exploded around that tree.
Nice.
Like poof. It looks like it's on fire.
I have allergies. Don't breathe. Don't breathe. Don't breathe.
Yeah, pretty much. Or you're living on Zyrtec for a couple of months. But I mean, once you get past that, the springs, you're in the 80s. You're already in perfect ride motorcycle weather. I mean, we get a couple of weeks down here in the wintertime that do get cold. We're getting down into the 40s.
Or you get a bunch of
And I'm
fucking
talking-
ice and nobody knows how to drive.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We had a pretty decent ice storm this year in February. And it was really nice to get 3 days off paid because there was ice. And it's like, no, I'm not driving in this shit. Fuck you. That's black ice.
Yeah, it's like our state. If it gets bad enough, the counties will go red and I don't have to go into work. I don't get paid for it, but I can have them count my vacation time for it.
Oh, no, they didn't even count my vacation time. I got paid for a canceled run.
That's right, you're driving. I work for a factory, so if I don't have to go into work, I can either take it no points, no paid, or I can have them use my vacation time to cover my hours.
So are you down there working for one of the Flexigate factories, or are you working for Dyson?
Neither.
Oh, shit, the crankshaft place.
Nope, neither.
No, he works for
Paper. Lakeside
For where?
Book Company. I work for paper. Lakeside Book Company is what it is now. It was formerly R&R Donnelly's.
Oh, okay, I know R&R Donnelly.
Yeah, it was bought out by LSC Communications and then bought out by Lakeside Book Company.
I'll be damned.
So, but apparently the company that bought us out actually gives a shit about us and upped our pay like $2 an hour across the board, except for the operators. They got fucked. They got 2% instead of $2. They were not happy about that one.
Well, they're operators. I mean, I'll be honest. No, You could sit here and say fuck Texas all you want to and just blame the weather, but I'll take the weather and then the easier way of life being down here than being up there any day of the week. There is nothing on the face of this planet like getting a hammock set up where you got plenty of shade and it's a hot day. You get out there in your shorts and a t-shirt, you pull your cowboy hat down over your face and take a nap while you're drunk. And I mean, Chris was even saying, me being down here, he's got to come visit because I'm fucking happier.
You seem that way.
Dude, I'm telling you what, this guy that's got this fifth wheel over here, I may go over and offer him $5,000 for that fifth wheel and make that my motherfucking office. I'll make it my office and guest house.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'll pull the slide out and I'll put my studio in there in the back. And then the bedroom will be there for when people come to visit. There's no fucking on my board, okay, Chris?
I can't make promises.
I need you to make that promise. I do not want your sweaty ass juice dribbling all over the sliders on my board.
It wouldn't be my butt juice. But if your volume knobs are all cranked up, mainly except for the ones in the middle, all the way up. The two of them
God.
in the middle that aren't pushed all the way up, that's where the butt crack was.
Okay, well, at least I know that.
Just get some sanitary wipes and wipe it down after he's been there, and don't take any chances.
Well, I mean, the thing that he's got to worry about is I may have the cameras on.
Find me. Ooh.
So
Hey,
he might get recorded, and then I'm going to put that fucking shit on OnlyFans and
Hold
try
on,
to make some money off of it.
Lost sound.
Pornhub.
Hold on, we lost sound.
We lost
I said
sound.
that.
I'm sitting here talking about fucking pushing volume knobs, and the cat pushed your guys' volume all the way down.
See, now that's what you get for having a furry pussy climbing all over your board.
I agree.
81 Harley Super Glide, shovel head engine.
Please tell me it's a 4-speed ratchet top.
Probably
Does
not.
not say. Shovel head engines, all it says.
Oh, man. Dude, my uncle is restoring a shovel right now, and it's gorgeous. That bike's been around
81.
since I was he bought that bike 2 weeks before I was born.
81 Super Glide shovel head, kick and electric start, needs linkage adjusting, runs and rides great. Clean title in hand, will trade for sports bike, sporty or Dyna, $4,500. Not a bad bike from the year I was hatched.
Yeah, Mike, you were born in Dallas. I feel sorry for you. You ought to look down. Well, it really depends on what you want. Texas, here's the beauty of Texas. It's got everything that you could possibly want in one state. Do you want to live on the beach? Go down along the coast. Do you want to live in a high-flying city environment? Go to Dallas. Do you want to live in cornfields? Go to the east side of the state. You want to live in the desert? Go to the west side of the state. You want to be in the hill country and enjoy the lakes and the fishing and the beer and the women? Then you come where I'm at. Are you a fan of Willie Nelson? Move where I'm at.
I'm a fan of Willie.
Willie lives an hour from me.
Nice. Have you smoked weed with Willie?
No, and I wouldn't do it again either.
Something ain't right with the road here.
Now, here's something that a lot of people don't know is Willie had to stop.
I knew that.
You want to be down around, Mike, you better get ready to crack the wallet open if you want to be down around Galveston. I'll give you guys a great example, all right? So we went down to Port Aransas today. We were down on Mustang Island. We had a great day. We came back, but I had to fill up in Aransas Pass on the other side of the channel. I paid $3.09 for gas in Aransas Pass because the property values have gone up like crazy around Galveston. It's become a very popular retirement area. So Aransas Pass, I fill up $3.09 a gallon. I get home, it's $2.97.
Fucking like $3.54 a gallon here.
Fuck. That's too damn much. I was bitching earlier about how high our gas got.
I'm glad I live in town, work in town, don't have to do much fucking driving to get anywhere, and tank of gas lasts me.
I drive 15 minutes to work every day. Almost $4 a gallon in Springfield. Holy shit. Chris, what's gas in Kentucky right now?
I don't know.
I thought you bought gas.
I do, but you know, gas is one of those things I really don't pay attention to the price to.
Well, whereabouts was it at? 350, 4?
Hold on, something really right isn't right in the state of.
Yeah, you got to bear with Chris a little bit here, everybody. His cord got fucked with, and now he's slightly. Chris is slightly cross-eyed because his cord got messed with.
Fucking
It
cat.
wouldn't be Chris if he wasn't having technical difficulties.
Well, his cord got messed with, and his cord got messed with by a pussy, and now he's all cross-eyed.
Well, my cat did something, and now my volumes, my switches, nothing's working right.
What you gonna do, brother?
Try to
Oh.
control
When Hulkamania runs wild on you.
It's all fucking staged. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fun
Here's
though.
what we're gonna do.
What are we gonna do? Who are we
Reboot
gonna
everything.
Hold on.
We can do people.
There we go.
Did you fix it?
Well,
Well, since
370.
since I'm only using the one computer right now, I'm not on Asgard because I totally forgot it was fucking Saturday and everything. I just unplugged from the soundboard and went directly into this computer.
Okay. Well, I understand. I mean, we've got to be allowed to fuck up once in a while. We're drunk.
Or stoned.
Both.
Or both. If you're in Doug's.
That light on. All right, now I'm back in my bedroom.
Alright. Just turn that fucking thing off.
Oh my God, it feels good to take off that shoe. I'm getting a hell of a feedback echo.
I hear
Probably
it
Chris.
on your end. It ain't on my end. It's on his own end.
It's got to be Doug. Doug, mute yourself real quick. Click that little mic icon. There you go. Oh, look at that. I figured it out.
It is Doug.
Yeah. He's going to go. Watch. We're going to see his mouth word the words. God damn it. Here in just a second, right?
No, probably not, because it's probably echoing off of Chris's end.
No, because you muted and that got rid of the echo.
And it
Yeah,
went
because
away
I was
again.
muted.
Well, now you went away and it's gone.
Oh my God, my socks are off now. Woo-wee.
I could even hear it.
Yeah. So it was hitting
It was
both of
crystal
us.
clear on my end.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
also doing this shit for so long, I kind of have an ear for it. Like the smallest, littlest, tiniest bit of feedback coming out of the soundboard is annoying as fuck to me. Stop! Knock it off.
I had to do it, man. I had to. What? Nikki Bella? my future ex-wife.
Or like fucking at work. We're all fucking half deaf here. But if there is a pinhole leak in an air hose, I will hear it.
Right.
And it will
Nikki
annoy
Bella
the
is
fuck
a
out of me.
woman wrestler, one of the Bella twins.
She ain't no Ronda Rousey.
And she's my future ex-wife. It's Brie Bella.
Hey, see this?
That looks like a hitter.
It is. My fingers.
Probably a good thing we're not on Facebook.
I don't give a fuck. It's a tiny little fucking thing. It's no bigger than a fucking Zippo lighter. This is focusing on the fucking camera here.
Oh, don't do that. Chris is going to say that you're weak as fuck just showing him that.
I know. I mean, here I'm busting out a 12-inch steamroller.
Yeah, but mine's more adventurous. This fucking beer, this thing's dangerous, okay?
Mine's more adventurous. If you're smoking that thing in public, you really have zero fucks to give.
That's just screaming, hey, don't bother me. Mine's just as small as what's in my mouth.
I'm not trying to compensate for anything. That's all I'm saying.
Obviously, because that hitter says it all right there.
Well, me neither.
And you're not number one either.
Yeah, I am. I just saw the symbol.
Okay, you're number two.
No, I'm number one twice over. That's like number one 2 years in a row.
And there's one guy at work. I'm like, he flipped me off. I'm like, yeah, you got two of them? He fucking flips me off both of them. I'm like, good, shove them up your ass and see if you can walk on your elbows.
I heard that one back in the 80s. Let's see. Adam
I heard that
says,
one from my grandma.
Adam coming back to our conversation. You know what? I got to get Doug's part on this conversation too. So Adam's coming back to our conversation from earlier. I was in a chat room on another show earlier today, and while I was there, I said, if a woman swallows, it's a form of cannibalism. So a woman that was there, she says, well, wait a minute. So if she spits, is that a form of child neglect, child endangerment? And I've been trying to get everybody's opinion. Adam says spitting is littering. So I haven't seen anything from Mike about it yet.
I kind of agree with his sentiment on it. Grace not wanting that. But as far as like child abuse or anything, it hasn't become a child yet because the sperm hasn't, done the whole thing with the egg. So,
According to the Democrats, life begins at ejaculation.
There you go.
Well, then there shouldn't be any fucking racism because we all start out white.
Well, then how far does that go? So there shouldn't be any genderism either because everybody's a woman until they hit 20 weeks?
We all start out. No, we're more like tadpoles.
Okay, Mike says, I must have missed it. He agreed with Chris. Yeah, I did miss it.
You didn't miss much. If you're agreeing with Chris, you did not miss much.
But I'm surprised Adam hasn't made... Oh, Adam said spitting is littering. Okay. So Adam is okay with her being a cannibal.
Well, I mean, that depends on where it's fed into.
Well, okay, now check this out, right? I actually did have a shirt at one point in time that said, your mom swallowed thousands of your brothers and sisters.
I mean, if I keep a spittoon next to my bed, and a spittoon is in the title, spit here.
Right.
Is that considered littering?
I don't think so.
Or is that considered keeping the family together?
It could be a little bit of both.
So,
I want that T-shirt back now. I'd wear that thing to work.
Me and Chris went to the Sonic Temple Music Festival, and we each got a shirt. He got a different, pattern for it, but it said the same thing. And that's, I'm not a dog trainer, but I know a bitch when I see one. And I wore mine to work, and my supervisor, came up to me and he's like, "Hey, would you do me a favor and never wear that shirt in here again?" I'm like, "Fine, whatever, the whole spiel, it's inappropriate, whatever." Comes up to me about 5 minutes later, and I'd seen, front officey people running around doing shit. And he comes up to me, he's like, "Okay, somebody else complained about your shirt. Would you go home on break and change it?" Like, really? Fine, and I had my fun. But I was talking to one of my other supervisors, and he's like, he goes, "I had all kinds of, offensive shirts and stuff. I forget what site he said he went to, but he pretty much ordered everything they had, including for his baby." So wrapped up from Anonymous for the baby shower was onesies that said, "Mommy just wanted a back rub." The in-laws were there, and they were not happy.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I think one of my favorite ones is out in the back seat of the car right now. It says, "Thou shalt now ingest a satchel of Richards." I fully intend to wear that shirt to work when my boss is going to be here.
That's funny.
Because here's a bonus of where I'm at right now. My boss does not argue with me.
Shut up, dog.
My boss does not argue with me. My boss likes my integrity. That Mike came up to bite him in the ass. What do you got there? Oh, nice. I love the onesies, dude. Okay, here we go. These are the onesies, everybody, that Chris is looking at. Look at that. We'll bring up the solo shot here. And now Chris freezes up. All right. Fresh out of fucks. What did Kool-Aid say? Fuckface? Is that what it says?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay.
Here's a bong. What's up, fuckers?
What's up, fuckers?
Hey, that was my fucking name in high school.
I believe it.
Well, they said they were saying Fockers, like Meet the Fockers, but that's not what I heard, but I never corrected them.
Well, I wouldn't have.
No, hell, that was the main reason I had friends. They get away with profanity.
You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
Fucking Billy Madison.
There's a guy, there aren't snakes up in Wisconsin, so there you go, Doug. You can move to Wisconsin. If I offended you, what does that say there?
I'm sorry, it won't happen again. 1 and 2 are both lies. You're a pussy.
I want that as a fucking adult shirt.
I'd wear that one to work.
Fuck, I'd wear that one as a onesie to fucking work. But give me the adult version, though. That'll work.
You came, I conquer. Now, there you go. Hey, Adam says Texas is better than Illinois.
I'll give him that. I've lived in Illinois and I've been through Texas. Like I said, half the time your drive times are fucking twice as long as they need to be.
Well, you're thinking city to city. You got to think the little towns and where I live.
Well, if you're in one of the areas where there's several little towns, that's fine. But, usually, it sounds like you're kind of in a spot like, where I was in Illinois. You're in the middle of everywhere, but kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
if you want to go to like the next like big, town / city over, you're looking at a 20-30 minute drive.
Oh, there's the other one. It says,
what's it say?
Dude, your wife keeps checking me out.
I want that one for an adult shirt.
Right.
So there you go. Doug, you want to move out of Indiana and go to a place where you have different scenery and you don't have to deal with snakes, head on up to Wisconsin.
Well, I don't mind being in Indiana.
Hey, I
like the house I'm in. Chris can't find a one room in my house.
Yes, I can.
The weed room?
It took you fucking forever to find that drop down room.
Doug's room
I watched the video of you trying to fucking find it.
Doug's house is actually a historic house with hidden rooms because it used to be part of the Underground Railroad network.
There was actually a dumbwaiter in the house. One of the rooms was a drop-down room, which he couldn't find. It took him fucking forever.
And
Like,
the
No
dumbwaiter-
I'm watching the live stream
dumbwaiter-
afterwards because I was at work. And he's running around the house trying to find this room. And like 3 different times, I'm like, Chris, you're standing right next to the fucking door. Of course, it's,
Oh my God.
it was pre-recorded, so I couldn't actually tell him that. But he's standing right fucking next to us. Like, Chris, all you gotta do is open that door.
But
All right. Well, hey guys, we're at 2 hours 15 minutes. I know I need to get some sleep because we had a long day.
Oh, we're not gonna go to 420.
Oh no, I'm not gonna make it at 4:20.
Oh, good. I didn't plan on being on my phone that long either.
Right. So, Doug, what do you got for final thoughts tonight?
Fly high and avoid the ground fire.
Chris?
life is short. Make it sweet.
That makes it easy. All right, everybody, Mayhem's Amigos, we've been here for another Saturday night. I've enjoyed the show. I hope you guys did too. And, of course, we had a bunch of shit we did not get to tonight, but we're going to get to it next week.
I don't know what was on the itinerary.
In the meantime, if you visit the White House and you find a bag full of white powder, make sure to call Hunter. We will see you next week, 7 p.m. right here, Mayhem's. Well, yeah, you can call me. Call the strippers. We'll see you next week, Mayhem's Amigos. Good night, everybody.
See you later.
Later.